Good evening. I'm Brian Abel. 24-hour News 8 at 11 starts now. And while New Year's resolution intentions are often admirable, stats show that they usually fizzle out in just a matter of weeks. Make flight crews and your fellow passengers happier, stow away that luggage as soon as possible so others can get to their seats and you can get flying sooner. While the flight's in the air, make sure you mind your own personal space. And lastly, taking your shoes off might make you comfortable, but not so much for your fellow passengers. This blizzard is still in full effect, causing low visibility and continuing to create issues for drivers on the road.
It started as a police chase, now a standoff where a man is holed up in a house surrounded by officers. We check in again with WDAZ's Brian Abel live now at the scene. Brian?
Yeah, Stacy, we're here at 230th Street Southwest, northeast of Fisher, and there's some developments in just the last few seconds. An ambulance has arrived here at the residence, and this is just minutes after all those lights that were surrounding this house went dark. And our cameraman did say that he heard 2 thumps. So that's when all of this activity started happening. So still active scene, but it looks like things are starting to calm down.
Joining us live from the scene of that standoff is WDAY6 reporter Brian Abel with more details in our top story. Brian?
Yeah, Dana and Kirsten, this is where that standoff started and ended. Right here at the apartment complex at drivers from around the country started up their engines for North America's hottest car show and rod run in Devil's Lake this weekend.
Thank you. Again.
We have to thank him because he had not.
The power of organ donation. Wow. To our weather tonight, how much snow is in store for us? Storm Tracker meteorologist John Wheeler has a first look at our forecast.
WDAY6 reporter Brian Abel joins us live tonight with our top story. Brian?
Yeah, Dana and Kirsten, what a day for Fargo-Moorhead drivers. And if you think those 75 people are crazy, watch this. I'm not that crazy, but it would be a lot better than this morning at those 40-plus mile-per-hour winds. Reporting live in Moorhead, Brian Abel, WDAY6 News.
And that's where WDAY6 reporter Brian Abel picks up this story here in Fargo at Discovery Middle School.
The Red Cross has set up a shelter for the residents of Castleton. Officials are urging everyone in the town to get out, get somewhere safe, go see a family member, stay someplace warm.
Our job right now is to protect the citizens of Castleton and the surrounding area, and that's what we intend to do.
The 2,400 citizens are being asked to leave because the air might be too harmful.
Crude oil, as it burns, has a lot of particulate matter in it, a lot of fumes and other bad things that are really difficult for people, especially those with respiratory illnesses.
Officials will reassess the request tomorrow, but stress that the public evacuate safely tonight.
We don't have to rush. We don't want people running in panic to their cars and crashing into each other as they're trying to get out of town. Is just a nice, orderly evacuation of the community. And that's why we're starting now, because we know we have a little bit of time before the wind changes direction.
Though nobody has arrived yet, the Red Cross says that they are able to set up cots in a hurry. So if you have no place else to go, come here and be safe. Brian Abel, WDAY6 News.
A state-of-the-art and one-of-a-kind facility is about to open 8 stores in West Fargo. And if you're a fan of exercising your Second Amendment rights, you're going to love this place. WDAY6 reporter Brian Abel joins us live in studio tonight with the details. Brian.
Well, Drew, they say it's storm season, and I think the safest and most well-armed bunker is in West Fargo. It looks more like Area 51 than West Fargo. And with the technology inside, you might actually think you're at a secret military base.
Very unique.
You even have to go underground to get to it. And though you might find some military men here, as well as surveillance, it's actually West Fargo's newest shooting range, designed specifically for rifles.
You can stand outside and people can be shooting down here and you won't hear anything.
The Fred Shield Memorial Rifle Range is one of a kind. The Red River Regional Marksmanship Center president says as far as he knows, it's the only underground and indoor public rifle range in the United States.
We don't have to deal with the weather, the wind, which we have a little bit of in North Dakota.
And it has the same technology as other world-class facilities. The targets being used at the range are the same used in the Olympics, with sound sensors feeding the location of where the bullet hit back to a monitor next to the shooter.
They're Kongsberg, and they're made in Norway.
I decided to harness my inner James Bond and take a few shots myself with a .22-250. And don't worry, if anything went wrong, they have some technology for that, an all-ceasefire switch. Well, let's see how I did. It turns out I'm not all that bad. And one of my favorite parts about the facility is most of the work was done by volunteers, contributing over 700 hours. Now, if you want to try and one-up me, the grand opening is this Friday at 3 p.m. Reporting live, Brian Abel, WDAY 6 News.
I might have to take you up on that, Mr. Abel. Another amazing feature of that range, the LED lights for the entire facility uses less power than an average toaster, so it's eco-friendly as well.
Good evening, everyone. A careless act of vandalism in Fergus Falls has families picking up the pieces. Someone destroyed several headstones, flowers, and vases at the Oak Grove Cemetery.
And speaking of charity, before we leave you tonight, I have to give a massive shout out to my hometown of Lowell, Michigan. I know it's a little out of the viewing area, but the police department there is getting some attention on social media after turning routine traffic stops into a Christmas present giveaway. The officer would squeeze out a Christmas present shopping list from the person he pulled over for legitimate violations, mind you, and with a microphone attached, the list was relayed to a team at a store nearby. By the time the traffic stop was over, instead of a ticket, one less present on the list. What a way to turn someone's day around and spread some Christmas cheer. Very proud of my hometown.
It's really cool. When you heard some of the stories, it was, you know, parents needing one more thing for their kid and just to have it handed to you. That's pretty cool.
And not have to pay a ticket. It's pretty cool,
and I think you're getting pulled over.
All right, that's your news, weather, and sports.
From all of us here, thanks for watching and staying with us. We'll see you back tomorrow at 5:30.